December 4th, 2008. Prime Minister Stephen Harper prorogues Parliament in an effort to avoid a confidence vote expected to result in the defeat of his minority Conservative government by a coalition of Liberals and New Democrats. The move is widely acknowledged as the most interesting thing to have happened in Canadian politics in more than 80 years. Fearful of a coup d'etat spearheaded by fascists or communists, hundreds of demonstrators take to the streets of Toronto on December 6th in two parallel protests.
We want to help our country to fight the economic crisis that is coming, and for that we need to pull together our talents and our skills. At a time when Canadians are losing their jobs and their savings, at a time when 66,000 workers in Ontario alone, 42,000 in manufacturing, lost their job last month, can we imagine the human tragedy behind these numbers?
Governor General has agreed to prorogue Parliament. Last Friday, I asked Canadians to give us their opinions on the parliamentary situation. That feedback has been overwhelming and very clear. They want Canada's government to continue to work on the agenda that Canadians voted for, our plan to strengthen the economy. When Parliament resumes on January 26th, the first order of business will be the presentation of a federal budget. Take a couple of questions.
Nous allons commencer avec Emmanuel à travers Radio-Canada.
Monsieur Harper, premièrement, est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer
First of all, can you explain why it took so long to convince the Governor General to grant your request for prorogation? And now that you have 6 weeks of truce, what are you going to say to the opposition to try and restore a constructive political climate here in Canada? Well, that's a good question. Of course, I cannot discuss the content of my discussions with the Governor General. That is a constitutional tradition.
The contentious coalition at once sparks outrage among all real Canadians. It comprises Liberal leader Stéphane Dion, NDP leader Jack Layton, the FLQ, and the Soviet Union. On the side of the ruling Conservative minority government are Prime Minister Stephen Harper, the Queen of England, and Adolf Hitler.
In manufacturing lost their job last month. Can we imagine the human tragedy behind these numbers?
Everybody sing! I don't like Stephen Harper. I wish that he'd just go away. One more time. I don't like Stephen Harper. I wish that he'd just go away. Long live the coalition, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.
Pro-coalition demonstrators hold this mass rally at Nathan Phillips Square, the seat of the Toronto Municipal Government, on December 6th. They congregate to sing provocative songs and listen to the words of their leaders.
What did he do? He did worse than nothing. Because instead of an economic plan, Mr. Harper delivered an ideological plan. It was an ideological plan to start selling off public buildings. An ideological plan to kill off the opposition parties. An ideological plan to roll back workers' rights in labor negotiations. and an ideological plan to roll back women's rights. Le Canada a besoin d'un gouvernement fort, efficace, responsable. Un gouvernement qui a la confiance du Parlement.
Oui!
Ce n'est pas ce que nous avons maintenant. Nous avons un gouvernement qui se croise les bras alors que notre économie a besoin d'action. We have to establish protection for pensions and for senior savings, and we've got to do it now. And a carbon exchange mechanism working with Obama. And not only that, we're going to bring in fair trade for a change. It's a prudent, it's a competent, and it's an effective plan designed to...
Knowing the situation is tense, police surround the demonstrators. Recognizing they are vastly outnumbered, they prepare for the worst. Reinforcements are called in. The Prime Minister recalls the armed forces from Afghanistan to ensure stability. Protesters and counter-protesters clash on University Avenue. Police and soldiers seal the downtown core as street battles rage, paralyzing the financial district. But the police have neglected one detail. Nothing this interesting ever happens here.
I say to